Let's do the podcast.
Oh, look, a strawberry. I can't do that voice.
Oh, look, a strawberry.
Oh, it's a strawberry. Hey,
Hey,
I'm Jess.
I'm Hids.
And welcome to our podcast. Jess and Hids make a podcast. This is episode 5.
5?
5.
Why did I think it was 6? I can't
Because
count.
the Buzzsprout says we have 5 episodes up already, but it's counting,
it's counting
the trailer. But this is our 5th official episode, not counting the trailer.
It's cool. We have 300 downloads.
We reached 300 downloads sometime while we were asleep last night.
Yeah, I'm super
Or
excited.
this morning. Yay!
Yay! I got really self-conscious again all of a sudden.
Uh-huh.
My subject isn't going to help.
Oh, okay. Before we start talking about subjects, we gotta tell you guys what we did after pies last night.
I'm looking at you like, what did we do? Oh my gosh. What did we do?
So we decided to have a perk for our patrons. Well, no, I guess we need a little bit more backstory here. We make pies for a cafe, which you did already know because we talked about that after Thanksgiving, all the Thanksgiving pies that we made. Anyway, we go there at night after the cafe is closed and when everybody is gone. And we go there at 9 p.m. and we usually come back after midnight. Sometimes way later than that, but we randomly decided one night that it would be kind of a fun thing to do.
Yeah, because we typically will drive home and then like sit in our car or just sit on the couch to kind of just decompress and unwind before we go to bed. And it's just like
we talk about random stuff.
It was just kind of where this podcast came from. Too.
Yeah.
Like, just like we talk about random things the most, just whatever pops in our head at 2 a.m.
And so we decided that every once in a while, if we feel like it, we're just going to turn on the mics and just record us chatting.
Record the weirdness.
Yeah. And they're called After Pie Sessions.
And they're available for our patrons over. I don't know.
So last night we recorded our first one and we talked about like weird, spooky things that have happened while we make pies in the middle of the night at this old cafe. And yeah, that is available for our patrons. I didn't edit it at all. I converted it to MP3 right after we stopped recording and just uploaded it to Patreon. So
raw, unedited chaos.
Yeah. And they're going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I think it is. I think next time we'll talk about all the stuff that happened out east.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You've got some weird stories.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're on the fence about becoming a patron, there's a little bit more of a push for you to just go ahead and subscribe.
I may have been abducted by aliens.
You're just... I was trying to move on.
No, we're
and you're still stuck on
teaser.
that. I may have been abducted by aliens.
But you have to become a patron to find
out. Yeah, you gotta be a patron
story.
to hear that story. So yeah.
Anyway.
After Pie Sessions, it's going to be great.
It's fun.
If you want to know where to go to be a patron, you can always just head to our website, jessandhids.com, jessandhids.com, or go right to Patreon, patreon.com/jessandhids.
And this just popped in my head. If you would like to tell us about the time you may have been abducted by aliens, we have a new email address to use.
We do.
For contact. jessandhids@gmail.com.
Simple, easy to remember. It's our names.
It's our names. It's just us.
It's everything's Jess and Hids.
Everything's Jess and Hids. So, do you want to just go and get started on this?
I can't think of any other, like, announcements or things. I don't know. What did you get up to this week?
Well, I worked. Apparently, I'm allergic to something at work, so my arms are all itchy.
Cool.
But
Cool.
that's cool.
I will say today is December 13th. It is Friday the 13th. Not only is it Friday the 13th, but it is the second day of the Yule Lad appearances.
I just was like, wait, which Yule Lad is it? It's the one that looks
It's
at the cows now.
Gully Gawk.
Gully Gawk.
Yeah. He is hanging out in gullies and checking out cows. So be on the lookout for Gully Gawk. Also, Sheepcoat Cloud is also around. He's been here since yesterday.
Also, your cow maiden, what is it? Oh, I can't remember who she was. Someone in your barn's making eyes at the cowboys.
Milkmaid.
The milkmaid, that's what she
Yeah. At the cow herd. The milkmaid's making eyes at the cow herd.
I will just butcher anything and make it wrong, which is going to make my topic very interesting today.
Oh, okay.
So
Sweet.
it's going to be a wild ride.
Should we get into that then?
Let's do it. I kind of want you to go first, but
You every
say that
time
every
you say that
time.
every
I
time.
don't
We
like
got to
going
come up with
first.
new banter. It's episode 5. Come on. Oh no, it is me.
It is you. Okay, I can't.
60
Oh,
it
sorry, I
was-
just slammed into my.
It was on the 4, but then it rolled over to the 18.
It never does that in the game. It actually goes 18 to 4.
I know. Yeah.
And then you die.
The time you don't want it to roll high.
Cool.
Okay, no, that's fine. I like my subject.
I like mine too. It's just okay. Go ahead. Let's hear what you have to say.
Okay. I think I'm gonna copy myself from when I did Eloise Butler and start with just a quote.
Okay.
It says, "My heart rose into my mouth as I plummeted for what seemed far too long, dropping like a stone. I could hear the rapid flap, flap, flap of the silk streaming after me as the canopy broke from the balloon netting and sucked at the rush of air. And then, at last, there was a great whoosh. Suspended there in the clear, warm air, high above the land of mere mortals, I experienced a sense of elation such as I had never known."
What?
That is a quote by Dolly Shepherd describing her
gosh.
first jump in a parachute. Dolly Shepherd, she's one of the, probably the most famous of Edwardian lady parachutists.
This is awesome. You were getting like all the.
I'm getting
crazy,
the cool,
awesome ladies.
the
from
cool
the past.
ladies of history.
I love it.
Yeah, I
I'm a
was
little
excited.
jealous, but I love it.
I was very excited to draw her name. But Dolly Shepherd sort of made a career for herself by being this parachutist exhibitionist. She would rise up into the air. This was before, honestly, before proper parachutes were even invented. They just would rise up in a hot air balloon basically and jump
she was
from it.
Pretty much like a base jumper.
Yeah.
Because you don't really get all that much altitude. At least, now I know hot air balloons go much higher now, but
There's cats meowing on the other side of the door. Okay. Anyway, I'll start.
This is crazy.
Yeah. Dolly Shepherd was born on November 19th, 1886 in Potter's Bar, Middlesex, England. There's not much information about her childhood, but we do know that when she was 16 years old, she really loved John Philip Sousa, the music composer, like the big band sort of composer. You would recognize his stuff if I played it. He regularly performed at a place called London's Alexandra Palace, or Ali Pali, as it is known. And
Did you
it's
say that earlier this week?
It is a
You
venue
said-
that still exists, and it's
okay.
I was looking up pictures, and I was like, wow, this place is amazing. And I told Hiddles, well, I found a concert venue that I would like to go to someday.
Where is it?
It's in London.
Well, okay, add it to the list of things we're going to do when we ever finally go to London.
Yeah. So when she was 16 years old, she couldn't afford tickets to go see John Philip Sousa. So she just decided to work there. She started waitressing at this venue. And
Brilliant.
yeah, this guy would regularly come and do his whole performance and then eat on the premises at the venue. It's like it's not just a concert hall. It's like a whole big place.
Like dine in for the show and
Yeah, it seems like a really cool place.
oh my gosh, this place is
Isn't it awesome?
It's gorgeous.
Like, look at the actual concert venue standing room place.
It's beautiful. It's
It's
huge.
Cool. Yeah.
Oh
It's
my
a really
gosh,
cool
that
place, and
ceiling
I would
is
like to go to there.
Yes.
So, yeah, she couldn't afford to go see tickets, so she worked there instead and was able to see for free.
Smart. I'm brilliant, actually.
Yeah, yeah. One day, she overheard Samuel Franklin Cody, a Wild West
Bill?
performer. It's not
Not the same one?
not Buffalo Bill Cody. He claimed to be the son of Buffalo Bill Cody, but that was not true.
I'm thinking of Wild Bill Hickok.
That was the actual lawman, right?
Oh,
Buffalo Bill Cody was a performer. He had the Wild West show.
okay.
And Samuel Cody did the same thing.
Okay.
The whole
Yeah.
marksmanship shows that they used to have, like in Hidalgo.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's a good movie.
Yeah. So she overheard this guy talking about how his wife, who was normally part of his act, had been injured and could no longer perform. His wife's role was to be the one to balance the apple on her head, or like an egg or whatever on her head, and
Trust that you wouldn't get shot.
and Cody would shoot it off. And she had been injured during the act.
Go figure.
But Dolly, upon hearing this, was like, she immediately volunteered. She was like, "Oh, I'll do it.
Wow.
Hire me, please."
She's like, I love her. Just
Yeah.
like, go get him attitude. No, I don't know. Anyway, carry
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. She's a go-getter.
Go get her. That's the word. My gosh.
So she was hired. Cody hired her, and she worked with him for a year. One time she went with him to go tour a workshop of the French parachutist and balloonist, Auguste Gaudrin. She was fascinated, and by the end of the tour, she quit Cody's show to become a parachutist. So she was like, "Oh, this is cool. Peace
How
out,
old
Cody."
is she?
This was, let's see. I don't have, the timeline's a little weird. I know she started working at Ali Pali at 16 years old, but I don't know how long she was working there before she got hired on with Cody.
So it's fair enough to think she's probably 18 to 20.
Pretty young.
She's young.
Yeah, and I know... I thought I had another year in here. I don't know. But yeah, the timeline is unconfirmed.
Okay. So
But yeah, she worked with Cody for a year and then became a parachutist.
This is crazy. I love her.
She said that Gaudrin gave her 30 minutes of training, took her up to 2,000 feet in the air, pointed out a suitable landing place, and shouted, "Go."
Oh my gosh.
And that's where the quote that I read at the beginning kind of fits in. She later described her first jump.
Okay, so
Yeah.
like there's a part of me that wants to do that and experience.
Oh my
but
gosh.
but the greater part of me
You would
is
have to
like,
push me.
Heck freaking no. Am I
Like-
jumping out of anything
Yeah.
that's above the ground?
Jumping from a height, like I love being up high, but jumping
Yes.
from a height, you have to push me. Like
Yeah.
I'm not going to take that jump. So let me describe these parachute
Okay.
balloon apparatuses. So the balloons are hot air balloons, but they don't have a basket. Like we think of hot air balloons as having like a basket that you just stand in.
Right.
So these balloons that the parachutists rose up in, they were inflated on the ground, and you basically had to hang on to a trapeze bar, and then there was a loop, just like a rope or a fabric loop coming down where you would just sort of sit
Oh my
on.
gosh.
So you were hanging onto this trapeze bar, sitting on this little loop of rope, and the balloon would inflate, and you'd lift up usually between 2,000 to 4,000 feet. The parachutist would, no harness, no parachute harness or anything, but they would pull a ripcord that would begin deflating the balloon, then jump off the trapeze bar or let go of the trapeze bar and allow the parachute to open. So like they're hooked to the parachute. I tried to look up exact pictures of this rig. Some pictures I found were parachutists just holding on to ropes that the parachute was attached to. And some of them like had like arm straps, and I don't know exactly what kind of parachute Dolly used, but it was definitely not like the modern parachute rig that we have today where all of you is strapped in.
So it's literally, I mean, like a literal death grip on these ropes.
Yeah. While the balloon's inflating, she would do showmanship stuff, like trapeze stuff up there.
Gosh.
And then jump. And
because usually this wasn't just a regular pastime you did when you didn't have anything else going on. This was usually part of the show.
This was an exhibition sort of thing. A crowd would gather to watch this happen.
This is insane.
Yeah. So like everyone involved in the sport, I guess, they knew it was a risk. And every time you went up, there was a strong possibility that that would be the last time. You wouldn't live to see another jump. And Dolly, she wrote, "From time to time, a member of our team might disappear. Nothing would be said. He or she would just not be seen at any more shows. And if questioned, Captain Godrin would merely say that the aeronaut in question had left the team."
Oh, my goodness.
She says they had left, sure enough. But she herself was unfazed by the risks, and in her words said, "Death was a subject on which we did not dwell."
Wow.
She also said, "I used to like to go high because I had it in my head in those days that if I had to be killed, I'd like to be killed completely, good and proper. But the people used to if it was a clear day, they used to love to see you going high. It gave them pleasure, and it gave me pleasure too." She was such a daredevil. She's like,
Yeah,
sure, I could die, but I love it.
Wow.
Yeah. She used to sing to keep her nerves steady. She even designed her own costume for jumps. A website I found said it was a jaunty blue outfit with gold trim.
So when Edwardian, what year?
This says by 1905 she was regularly making public performances.
Okay,
and so by then she was at the height of her career, 1905.
This is she going in dresses or kind of like a
oh no,
divided skirts?
It's
or I'm picturing the old time bathing suits where it was just
yeah, it was pretty much like that.
So pants, jumper pants overall cover I don't know what I'm trying to say right now.
Let me open this link and show you the picture. Oh, fine, accept all cookies. So it's
I would like to accept that. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
she's got a little pair of pants
that's a
on
smart
and
little outfit. I kind
high
of like
boots.
it.
I know I
love those boots. It's
very cute.
Okay.
Yeah. So it wasn't not dresses. No.
How is she doing this?
No.
But, okay, that's I do like that outfit.
Yeah.
It's very cool. She looks just.
Yeah.
She's just pretty awesome.
She's cool. I've got some stories of her jumps. On one occasion, during one of the jumps, both the balloon and the parachute malfunctioned, and she found herself rising to about 15,000 feet.
Oh my!
So,
gosh.
Yeah, at that height, the cold and the lack of oxygen were kind of threatening to make her lose her grip and fall. But thankfully, the balloon slowly just sank back to the ground naturally after nearly 4 hours.
Oh my goodness.
So she was just up there. She can't jump down at that height because that's death. And
well, and you said the parachute was malfunctioning.
Yeah, the
too,
parachute malfunctioned. So she had no way to get down.
I guess I live here now.
She later reported that the unplanned tour over England was too beautiful to describe.
Aww.
So even that, unfazed her. She's
like, I guess.
Yeah, it was really pretty up there.
Look at the beautiful views as I hope I don't fall to my death.
Yeah. On another jump, she almost landed on a steam train, but the conductor was just quick-witted enough to blow the steam at just the right moment to sort of push her. It directed the air and pushed her into a nearby canal. And so that could have been bad. She could have landed on a steam train.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. And a notable sort of incident happened in June of 1908. She was set to perform an exhibition jump with another parachutist, Louis May. During the descent, May's parachute failed to release, and Dolly managed to release May from her harness and told told her to hold on to Dolly, using Dolly's parachute to support both of their weight. And because of this, the parachutes weren't designed to support two people.
Right.
They descended quicker,
They
what
should,
was
yeah.
safe. And unfortunately, May was not seriously injured, but Dolly, she landed really hard and suffered a severe back injury.
Oh.
Her legs were left paralyzed and she was told she would never walk
Oh
again.
my goodness.
Side note, that rescue went in the Guinness Book of World Records as the first midair rescue.
Whoa.
Yeah. But
Whoa.
back to Dolly, she was unable to move for a really long time, but she found a physician who did electrical shock treatment.
Oh, okay.
And the doctor accidentally gave Dolly an excessively powerful electrical shock that resulted in her being ejected from the bed. But the jolt was so powerful that it actually realigned her vertebrae, and she was able to walk again.
Oh my god.
Within a couple weeks, she was jumping again.
Oh man, this woman is amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
Years
wow.
later, she found out that during her downtime, her mother had been pretending to be her and doing jumps in her place.
Oh my god.
Right?
I am just like,
Maybe, well,
wow.
not in her place. One of the sources said that it was in her place, but another source said that she had joined Gaudron's troop in her place, but under the name of Madame Papillon, the butterfly. Madame Butterfly, yeah. So, like, I don't know if people thought it was Dolly or
Or
you know,
just-
in replacing Dolly temporarily is this other lady parachutist.
yeah.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think we know where Dolly got her gumption from.
I know. The mom was just like, yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, cool. She can do it. Doesn't look too hard.
Yeah.
Why not? I'll do it.
Jeez.
So crazy. I'm just like, what is?
I know.
It's just like mind blowing.
Yeah. She had, there was another experience, and this didn't, I'll just read it. So, Dolly was scheduled to make another jump in Coventry on July 9th, 1910. At the last minute, she canceled her appearance, and another female parachutist, Edith Maud Cook, took her place. And that, creepily enough, ended up being Cook's last jump.
Oh.
During the descent, a sudden gust of wind caused her parachute to collapse.
Oh no.
She was thrown onto a factory roof and then sort of tumbled and fell off the roof, causing injuries that would later lead to her death 5 days later.
Oh no.
Yeah. And so, like, Dolly was supposed to
Right.
was scheduled to jump that day. And so that was a very,
Well, now I'm all sad.
yeah.
I was enjoying this.
I
and now
know.
it's like,
So, but because of Cook's death and other high-profile deaths of female parachutists, because it was
apparently
a
it's a
thing.
big deal.
Yeah. It intensified an already raging sort of debate: should women be allowed to parachute at all? And then I have two men. One, Edmund Pigott, insisted that it was shameful to allow crowds to fulfill their worst instincts by watching young women risk their lives for entertainment.
I agree.
And Caleb Hackney wrote a widely read editorial pleading, "Can not public opinion, perhaps supported by some exalted personage, put an end to parachute descents by females?" Dolly laughed. Dolly replied, "What a dull world would it be if it were full of Reverend Pigotts and Caleb Hackneys."
Oh, I love her.
Yeah. Dolly, she continued parachuting until 1912, when during one jump, she thought she heard a voice warning her, "Don't come up again or you'll be killed." And she listened to the voice. She didn't do it again. Not at that time, anyway.
I just got goosebumps.
I
Like,
know.
I'm like, what?
She heard a voice. "Don't come up again or you'll be killed." Right?
That's crazy.
Yeah. That was not the end of Dolly's amazing life.
Well, I hope not.
In 1914, World War I broke out. And Dolly, seeing all of the men rushed to volunteer. She said, "I thought I'd do what I could," and signed up for the Women's Emergency Corps after seeing an advert in the paper. Dolly and her colleagues were told they were going to have to work hard and purchase their own uniforms. They would often practice marching in central London in the street and get laughed at. She said, of course, people were all giggling and laughing and saying, "Women soldiers, just imagine having women soldiers. Whoever thought of such a thing?" And they used to sneer at us and all kinds of things. While some may have sneered, the women of WEC were busy performing a range of duties for the war effort. They worked to convert places to be temporary hospitals to treat soldiers, and later Dolly she had learned to drive before the war, and so she ended up being a driver, driving supplies for munitions factories. And in 1917, she volunteered to go to France, where she would drive on the front lines.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of information about her just during the war. Like, she does talk about a couple of officers she was she was assigned to drive for. And, being men in that time period, they were like, "Oh, woman driver, ew, I don't want that." One of them, after she drove him around for a while, she was reassigned, and he said, "Oh, I prefer the lady driver." After driving with his new driver for a little bit.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
While in France, they were it was not encouraged to mix with the male officers.
Okay.
But the officers found a way around that by hiring private rooms in hotels.
Oh.
The female driver mechanics would enter the hotels discreetly through the back door and enjoy a meal without getting in trouble. And I have a quote from Dolly that says, "So, I mean, you see, we used to get fed, but it was really rather embarrassing because a private room in France means that you've got a bed in the room, which we used to promptly smother with our overcoats and hats to disguise it as a bed. But they were very decent. All the officers were very good. They never took any advantage. Oh, no, they were very nice. We worked hard, but we played hard."
Oh.
Yeah.
Just going and hanging out. I guess it was like you.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
they
they
still
just
had oh, sorry.
they were
had,
young, and they wanted to have fun.
Yeah.
So they were working that the garage of women mechanics were just massively overworked. They never really got time off, so they had to sneak out.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Among her duties was chauffeuring a Captain Percy Sedgwick, and again, he initially balked at being driven around by a woman, but his feelings toward her turned to admiration, then to love.
Aww.
And after the war, they were married.
Aww.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
So after that, not a whole lot. I mean, she sort of just lived happily after the war. She did volunteer again in World War II, but not to the extent that she did in the First War. After Sedgwick died, she moved around a bit. And then in 1976, I think about 20 years after Sedgwick died, she was invited to join the parachute Red Devils. She celebrated turning 90 by flying with the Red Devils on one of their air shows.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, so she went up again. She didn't do a jump, but yeah, she was 90 years old. So
Yeah.
what do you want?
Oh my goodness, please don't.
She died in 1983, and the Red Devils and the RAF Falcons sent representatives to her funeral. And a local paper warmly eulogized her as one of the most intrepid, charming, and colorful characters ever to have lived in Eastbourne.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
She was a little spitfire of a
Yeah.
woman.
Yeah.
And I'm very glad she lived a nice, wonderful, long life. 1980, I mean, I don't know, that late 1800s is very, very long ago.
Yeah.
And thinking...
It's weird to think that, someone who was alive back then doing those crazy, awesome parachute jumps was still alive in 1983.
Yeah.
I wasn't alive then, but...
I was.
Yeah.
That's when Empire Strikes
That was
Back
only
came out.
that was only 4 years before I was born, so
Yeah.
I was sitting here counting on my fingers. In 1987, the year I was born, Dolly's 67-year-old daughter, Molly, paid a fitting tribute to her by making her very first parachute jump.
Aww.
At the age of 67.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But that's Aw,
But yeah,
that's
she did it.
awesome.
She did it in tribute to her mom,
Aw,
and it was very
how
cool.
cute.
But that's all I have.
And she was like, "Hey, Mom, we have these whole harness things
I
now.
know.
It's
Like
really great. I
there's a
don't have to
picture
hold
of
the
it.
rope."
There's a picture of it, and it was actually a tandem jump. So she's just strapped to a
Strapped
dude's
to
chest.
yeah.
And yeah, but like 67 years old,
Yeah,
you're not gonna
right.
you're
Yeah.
not gonna take risks,
Yeah.
unnecessary risks.
Unnecessary
Like
risk.
technology has advanced since the ropes that you had to hold on to.
Like, I know my intrusive thoughts. We go to the Grand Canyon. I'm standing on the edge of the canyon, and I'm literally my mantra at that time is do not jump, do not jump, do not jump, do not
Yeah.
jump, because I'm like, what would happen if I jumped? Well, you would die. So I just have to like stand there and enjoy the view. Like, I love standing on the edge of
Yeah,
high
like I love being
precipices,
up
like,
high, but
but I
actually
know
jumping
I will,
off.
like, I know I will 100% die.
Yeah,
But that intrusive thought is like, jump.
yeah,
So the thought of, if I had to hold on to the thing that is going to keep me from dying,
I know.
my intrusive thought would be, let go, let go, let go, let go,
I know.
let go.
You're close enough to the ground.
You're
It's
good,
okay.
you're good, let go.
Just let go. The thing keeping you
The
from
thing keeping you from
plummeting.
dying. It's fine, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
Hit the ground running. Da, 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 da. Like,
just tuck and roll. It's okay.
hit with your shoulder, not your head. Yeah, she is amazing.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
and I'll definitely post pictures of her.
The picture you showed me in her outfit is just, it's black and white, and I'm like, I bet you said it was blue and gold.
Yeah,
That
Yeah, it was.
I want a colorized version of that photo,
Yeah.
because
Yeah, I bet I could find one.
it just,
I bet
she just
someone's
looks
done
really
it.
cool. And those boots, like, she's got the knee-high laced-up boots that just, I don't know, they just look really cool.
Yeah,
That's so fun. Dolly Shepherd? No.
Dolly Shepherd,
Shepherd. Okay.
Queen of Edwardian Parachutists. One of the websites that I got my information from, one of my sources, is a blog site called Strange Company, and I'm gonna bookmark it because it seems like they have a lot of cool articles about like little known
Oh, okay.
historical
cool.
stuff. Here's another picture of Molly. Not Molly.
Dolly?
Dolly.
Molly
Here's
was her daughter.
yeah.
Oh, she just looks so tough.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She is just like, I just jumped out of a airplane. No.
Off
I
of a
just
balloon.
jumped off a balloon.
I jumped off a balloon,
It's deflating slowly.
holding
It'll come
onto
back
a
down.
strip of fabric.
Oh, nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, I found an image. I don't know if you saw this one, but it's literally got a picture of her face on the balloon.
Yeah.
And it's just there, and she's just tied to it.
Yep.
Like, it's waiting to take off. There's no
Yep.
basket. There's nothing. She's just going to go.
Yep. It's just going to
Wow.
lift her up in the air between 2,000 to 4,000 feet.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
She was really cool.
Cool. I didn't know about. I remember we put her on the list. I can't remember where we found her. If it was just like one of those random things.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, your turn.
my turn. Oh,
Your turn.
no.
I'm going to get comfy. Hang
Okay,
on.
you can get cozy. I'm gonna have to. Okay, hang on. I'm like trying to get comfortable. My toes, like, I'm warm. My toes are freezing cold.
Yeah.
It's driving me crazy. All right. Speaking of awesome women, my subject was originally put on the list because of a woman, but I want to do her separately. I want
Okay.
her to be separate from this because it's just kind of a blip that she's mentioned. Her name is Mary Anning, and just really, really quick, she would search for fossils in the Blue Lias and Charmouth Mudstone Cliffs, which I believe are in Germany. And her discoveries included the first correctly identified ichthyosaur skeleton when she was 12 years old, the first two nearly complete plesiosaur skeletons, and the first pterosaur skeleton located outside of Germany. But the whole reason, do you know where I'm going
I
with
do.
this?
Yeah.
The thought is that the tongue twister, I can't even do it. She sells seashells by the seashore.
She sells seashells by the seashore. I can't
Is
even.
attributed to Mary Anning, but it's not actually hers. So my subject is tongue twisters and their origins.
Wait, it's not her?
No, it's not her. I want to
Aw.
put her on the list. I don't want to.
No,
like,
wait.
I actually found.
Where did the tongue twister come from then?
I'll tell you. Somewhere. Actually, no one really knows where it's from.
Oh, man.
There was a song in 1908 by Terry Sullivan and Harry Gifford that includes the phrase in its lyrics, which that's kind of what's attributed as the first thing. But there are earlier instances of its use, one of which was included in an elocution book and also published in an 1898 issue of Werner's magazine. It was kind of around, but it was kind of attributed to her. She did a ton of great things in the fossil world that were taken from her, which is why she's going to go back in.
Is that going to be, that should be our reoccurring card.
Our reoccurring card of manhandled history.
Manhandled history.
Yeah. I want to dive in because I actually found out a lot of stuff, and I'm like not even going to go into it, but the first correctly identified ichthyosaur skeleton and all these other things that she was actually found and that men took credit for finding because of her. Because she wasn't, the Geological Society of London, she gave them a ton of information and finds, and she wasn't allowed in because she was a woman. So
okay,
I want to go into her.
Yeah, we can get into that in a different episode.
Yeah, I really want to get into her and really deep dive and learn a lot more about her. Because like I said, I just grabbed kind of a few items that were in my tongue twister notes.
She sells seashells by the seashore. She sells seashells. No, I can't do it.
I know, right?
There was when I was in choir in high school, our director had us do vocal warm-ups that were tongue twisters, but also like scales, like sorry, and that was one of them. She sells seashells by the seashore. She sells seashells by the seashore. And like you pretty much had to keep the fast pace going.
Yeah.
And Rubber Baby Buggy Bumpers was another one.
I have a list of them.
Mama Mashed My M&Ms. And there were a lot of things.
I have a huge list.
And you'd go up higher and higher. Like you'd scale up. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was, yep.
So
fun.
Tongue twisters were actually created as a form of learning. It became kind of a game. So the tongue, I found in all my research, I ended up on a dentist website. I can't remember what the name of it is. I have it saved somewhere, and it was just talking about the tongue and tongue twisters, because the tongue is the only muscle in our body that works without any support from our skeleton. Which I was like, something they were like, oh yeah, it's not actually attached. It's kind of weird. But yeah, you actually need to exercise it just like a muscle. So I'm going to talk a lot about English tongue twisters because that's, we speak English. But I do have some examples in other languages, including American Sign Language.
Oh, cool.
In which they're called finger fumblers.
Oh my gosh. I love that so much.
When I was researching this, because I want to learn sign language, and I've done a few videos, but I don't ever really hyper focus on it. But I was thinking, I guess sign language, you don't really have tongue twisters, but you do, and it's
finger fumblers.
I have a video that I'll post when we post the show notes. I'll link it, and it's a lady doing a few of the really common finger fumblers, and I'm watching it going, yeah.
So are they finger fumblers because in our tongue twisters we have alliteration that trips us up, or words that sound similar? So are they words that look similar or are signed similar?
Yes. So one of the really common ones is good butt. I'm going to apologize right now because I'm going to just chop all these up. I'm really bad at tongue twisters. I have a slight lisp and it just drives me crazy. But I'm actually going to use some of these to practice off.
You will also have to
recording.
forgive me because every time you say one, I'm going to have to repeat it.
No, that's fun. I think it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Good blood, bad blood, which is a
blood,
tongue twister
bad blood.
in vocalized
Yeah.
English, is also a tongue twister in ASL because of the signings are very similar for good and bad. So
Okay.
good blood, bad blood. It's a very
That's
I'll
cool.
link the video. There's also a collection of just letters. Oh darn. Because I was being really smart and I closed all my really good tabs because I saved them and copied what I wanted to do, but I didn't copy the actual. And we're going to be editing this part out as I find my...
Do.
Okay, I found it.
Okay.
So, good blood, bad blood in ASL is a finger fumbler. Another one is W6V29F1D. And it's just like watching her sign it. It is very much just, it just looks like you're kind of just moving your fingers like,
Oh, man.
I don't know. It's they're all very similar signs. Another one is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And I'm watching her sign that. I was
Even though
like,
the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious.
supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Oh, we're gonna watch Mary Poppins this
I
weekend.
know. Yeah.
Oh, because I want to watch it anyway because we just watched the Coldplay video
Yeah.
with Dick Van Dyke.
Aw.
Oh,
love him.
emotions. Can we link that one too because it's beautiful?
Yes.
Okay.
Has nothing to do with either of our topics, but it's Dick Van Dyke, so,
6 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
Dick Van Dyke, Mary Poppins, supercalifragilistic,
Yeah.
which is a tongue twister, which actually had a lawsuit
What?
in 1965. There was a
Why?
lawsuit over who invented it.
Oh.
So
I just assumed it came from Mary Poppins. That was something
Well,
that they...
I did too,
wrote.
but it actually possibly came from Barney Young and Gloria Parker, who claimed they wrote a song using the word, which Young had allegedly made up in 1921. There is also a note I found of a girl who wrote it in one of her college classes in the 1930s. So, at any rate, the judge threw the case out because he was sick of hearing the word.
Oh, gosh.
And he literally said, don't say that anymore. Just say the word
Wow.
for the rest of this. And then he just was like, just forget it. This is a non-case. He threw the case out completely. So
That's funny.
he said it's a popular New York saying. So you can't basically copyright
You can't
it.
copyright it. Yeah.
And, yeah. So I had no idea.
Yeah.
Again,
I
Mary Poppins
just thought it was
invented
from...
that word, right?
Yeah.
But apparently it was a popular New York saying in the 60s. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
Weird.
mean, I guess if you listen to the words of the song, the word already existed.
I'm trying
Then
to
one
think of the
day I
words of
learned
the
the word that saved me aching nose. The biggest word you
I
ever
ever
heard.
heard,
And this is how it goes. Oh, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Okay, I can't.
Okay.
I got to stop singing, otherwise I'm going to keep singing.
Okay, so I'm going to do just a brief history of kind of like a timeline of tongue twisters and then a few notes about them and then a couple other things that I found interesting.
Sweet.
So I don't have a ton of information because there's no really, there's no like on this day in this time, this person said, I'm going to invent tongue twisters.
Right. I mean,
Um,
it's like the episode 1 when I did the common sayings. Like, you don't really
Yeah,
know.
there's not people in the past write stuff down. No,
I mean, can we write... What, like,
I know.
we came up with... We've come up with things that we quote, like just things that we have said. So, like, we can't even pinpoint when we said it.
People in the future,
You and I.
right now, Jess and Hids, write stuff down.
Oh, crap. Now we're yelling at ourselves.
Well, anyway.
Who really said war members first? Oh, no, I
We
know.
actually know who said that. We actually do.
It wasn't us.
We do have a history on that
It
one.
was an autocorrect.
It was an autocorrect. So it said that the oldest tongue twister that was actually referred to as a tongue twister. Oh my gosh, this is going to be
Twister.
We don't actually know where it came from. We don't know when it was pre 19th century or early 19th century. But it is Miss Smith's Fish Sauce Shop.
Miss.
I'm going to be saying everything.
Fifth shop stop. Miss Smith's Fish Sauce Shop. Miss Smith's Fish Sauce Shop. No, that's the hardest one.
It's no, it's not hard. The hardest one, I will tell you later. Officially, the hardest one, according to MIT.
Miss Smith's Fish Sauce Shop.
Yes.
I can't say it any faster than that.
I can't either. I can't say it that slow even. In 1813, Peter Piper is published.
That's funny.
Which we actually have this book, Peter Piper's Practical Principles of Plain and Perfect Pronunciation.
We do. It was free on Kindle.
It was free on Kindle. John Harris published this book in 1813. And it includes I'm just going to read this because these people who write are way better than me. Includes a twisty tongue tango for every letter of the alphabet. Which I think is kind of a fun little way to say that. It was meant to help children learn the fundamentals of speech mechanics, but its titular twister garnered quite the attention and inspired a lot of lore about its namesake. So people were trying to figure out who is Peter Piper.
Who's Peter? Okay.
So he was actually based on a French horticulturist, Pierre Poivre. I played this sound for you earlier and you were like, guava? Because I didn't want to butcher the poor guy's name, but I have done so.
How do you spell it? Pauvre.
Poivre.
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 Yeah.
Poivre. I'm not even gonna.
Poivre.
Poivre.
Poivre. Like, you know how the R-E in Louvre?
Pois, like pois.
Yeah.
And
Pois.
Poivre. Okay. Pierre Poivre. His last name actually means pepper in French.
Oh, that's fun.
Pierre, Peter.
Yeah.
Peter Pepper. He was said to be exploring the viability of growing American spices in the French Mediterranean. And so I guess he was growing pickling spices.
All right.
But anyway, John Harris published this book. So initially tongue twisters were used for teaching children, for helping them kind of improve their elocution and speech patterns. They were a form of gamification. I love this. By nature, there's an edit for you. By nature, tongue twisters are age agnostic. So children and adults can say them equally well or equally wrong. And in many cases, they're used for speech correction, increasing the confidence of the speaker, and exercising your tongue muscle so that you can speak more clearly with your pronunciations. Even though the early classrooms were very structured and everything, the students craved kind of mixed learning methods. So tongue twisters became a way to get children interested. Like, here are some letters, create a tongue twister.
Yeah.
So it's believed that when challenged, quizzed, or engaged via simulating content, a child's brain functions more efficiently and their retention power increases drastically, which is why we easily remember rhymes, drawings, and games from our childhood.
Yeah.
Which I think that's really cool.
That is cool.
Again, we're going to do the brain, another podcast just about us learning cool stuff that our brains do, I think.
Yeah.
So it was used kind of as a game, but it was a learning game. And it was fun because you could just come up with some random rhymes and Excuse your little buzzy phone.
Sorry.
Actually, I'm going to move mine off the table too before
Yeah.
it starts going off. So you could use these little fun games to kind of improve your speech
Yeah.
and also engage your mind and kind of be.
It's like a memory aid too.
Yeah, a memory aid and creative inspiration, kind of to come up with different challenging tongue twisters to give something to your friend to kind of try to trip them up.
Yeah.
A lot of reasons that tongue twisters are so entertaining is because they become, like when you mispronounce them, they're humorous, and sometimes they are humorously vulgar.
Like the pheasant plucker one. I have to say that very carefully.
Very carefully. When I was in school, I remember
Oh, and the slitted sheet.
Shelby City.
Yeah.
If you say that really quick, it comes out, because you're like in third grade and you're like, ooh, Shelby
Oh,
City,
I said
Shelby.
a bad word.
Yeah, I can't even say it.
I'm not a pheasant plucker. I'm a pheasant plucker's son. And I'm only plucking pheasants till the pheasant plucking's done.
I love that. I haven't heard that one until I met you. I haven't heard that one before.
Have you heard the sheet one? Upon a slitted sheet I sit. I don't remember the rest of it.
Okay. I feel like I have heard that one. But it's like, it's one of those, yeah, I have heard that maybe. I don't know. A lot of tongue twisters rely on the rapid alternation between similar but distinct phonemes, which are like S and SH.
Yeah.
So it's very, very close, but just different enough. And a lot of times the reason that they're difficult is because you use the same part of your mouth to make the different sounds. So you kind of just confuse your tongue and your brain.
Yeah.
A lot of tongue twisters use a combination of alliteration and rhyme, like Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers that Peter Piper picked?
Pickled peppers.
Pickled peppers. Pickled peppers.
Pickled peppers are actually really good, by the way.
Nothing pickled is good.
Yeah, but they are.
Okay. So, pickled celery?
No.
Mm.
I was just going to say.
Pickled celery would be so
pickles-
gross.
Your pickles are like my celery.
Yes.
So it's one of those like math problems. Like pickles to me, no. What is it? Not math problems, but like
Pickles
This is
are
all
to
gonna
celery as celery are to pickles or something.
no.
I know, like
celery is to me what pickles are to you. What is to you, and then you would have to solve for what.
okay.
What? Yeah.
Both are disliked.
Yep.
I'm not like a huge fan of celery. I feel like I have to quantify that. Like I just don't have the seething hatred of it that you do.
When we get fans who like to send us things, they're going to send you celery.
No, they're going to send you celery.
Oh gosh.
Which that'll be even funnier.
Send me anything but celery.
Send
me
just
pickles.
all the celery.
Send me pickles. Send me pickle salsa. That's really good. Pickled peppers. No, just kidding. I don't know. Or just send both of us chocolate. That's fine too.
Yeah. Just chocolate.
Or just go to our Patreon and donate, please.
Chocolate, tea, coffee. Betty Botter bought a bit of butter, but she said, "This butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter." So she bought a bit of butter, better than her bitter butter, and she put it in her batter, and her batter was not bitter. So 'twas better Betty Botter bought a bit of better butter.
Well done.
I'm actually quite proud of myself that I
Yeah.
think I got through that. I'm reading it. I can't do it straight from memory. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? That one's one of my favorites because I can actually say
Okay,
it.
'cause, yeah, how
pretty
much wood
good.
could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck Norris?
None.
All of it.
Chuck Norris would chuck the woodchuck. And the wood. I don't know.
Doesn't that one have a second part to it?
A woodchuck would chuck all the wood he could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Okay. Cool.
I feel like I just want to spend the rest of the time just reading these random
Yeah.
Shep Schwab. This is going to be the episode where we laugh a lot.
Yeah.
Shep Schwab shopped at Scott's Schnapps shop. One shot of Scott's Schnapps stopped Schwab's watch.
Wow. I have never heard that one before.
I have never heard that one before, but it was entered into a contest in Games Magazine in November 1979 and was announced the winner in the April 1980 issue. So there was a contest, and that was the trickiest,
the hardest
twister
one.
that
yeah.
won.
Scott's Schnapps shop.
Scott's Schnapps shop. Yeah, fun. so many. I feel like exhausted when I'm done with this.
Scott. Schnapps.
Scotch.
Scotty.
Oh God. Scotty.
Oh man.
Okay, stop making me laugh. This is hard enough.
Scott would be evil, just like his dear old dad. Give him my love and the things that I never had.
Wow.
But Scott rejected me. C'est la vie. Life is cruel. Treat you unfairly. Please tell me you know what I'm singing.
Exactly what you're
Thank you.
I do. I totally get it, but I'm just laughing too
God.
hard.
I'm
Okay.
done.
Did you use this one in your speech practice vocal warm-up? The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips.
Diction is done on the tip of the tongue. Wait, no. Diction is done on... Nope. I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
Diction is done at the tip of the tongue and the teeth. That's what it was. Yep.
Cool. Cool. Okay, sorry. I'm kind of just like, wow. We have so derailed. I don't even know where I'm at in my
That's
notes
okay.
now.
Read some more tongue twisters.
Okay. But can I give you my history?
Oh,
There's
okay.
just a brief. It's not fun.
Of that one?
There's just a-
Of the one
No,
you
there-
just said?
No, there's just a little brief kind of like tongue twister timeline.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So-
do it.
So we talked about the Miss Smith's fish sauce shop. We don't really have a date for that one. 1813 is when Peter Piper is published. And then 1965 is the court case over supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And in 1976, Werner Herzog brought in How Much Wood Could a Woodchuck Chuck? Observations. So this is a book. How Much Wood Could a Woodchuck Chuck? Observations of a New Language. And this is at the 13th World Livestock Auctioneering Championship.
So, like,
That's when he released this book. At this
okay.
and then I was like, well, that's funny. But then I thought,
Well, like auctioneers.
auctioneers
Yeah.
are amazing.
Yeah.
Like there was this little kind of podunk, crazy little horse and tag auction I used to go to. I was like, oh, this is what we did for fun on Friday nights in my hometown in North Carolina. But it was actually really fun.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
Auctioneer, like,
Speaking of my choir, when I was a kid, I was in a choir that sang at the county fair, and I had a solo during a song about an auctioneer, and I was very proud of myself for that solo, but I don't remember how it went. Something about like who whittle a biddle that $35 bid, something like that. I don't remember how it went, but I had a solo and I nailed it.
yeah.
And I was like 10.
Is that recorded anywhere?
I don't know, probably not.
Oh, darn. That would be awesome.
That was
I
before
like it.
cell phones. Well, I mean, before my family had cell phones with which to record things.
I was like, 97. There were cell phones in 97, my dear.
I don't actually remember.
They were
how
probably
old I was.
like the flip phones or the Nokias that didn't have.
Yeah,
even
they don't have video
Yeah.
capabilities.
So that was 1976. In 2013, MIT named the trickiest tongue twister in the English language. And so tongue twisters typically follow a sentence structure, which is why it makes them a little more difficult, because our brains want to have that structure. We want to put words in. I mean, delete all of that. So I'm going to go back and restart all of that. Tongue twisters go against the rule of choice-oriented sentence formation. So she sells seashells. We would say she sells a lot of shells by the sea.
Yeah, because it's easier to say.
Yeah, our brains default pick and choose words that don't create confusion.
Yeah.
So that's part of tongue twisters. They defy that logic, and our brain is like, wait, put words in there to make this make sense. But they do, even though they do kind of make our brains think, that's part of what adds to the learning. Our brains are like, wait, something's not right. Let's focus. Let's pay closer attention to these words and say them more
properly.
Say them more correctly, or process them in a different way. So you're engaging your brain and encouraging it to learn.
Yeah,
and increases your presence of mind, which is really the whole thing is just fascinating to me that this all works.
Yeah.
The tongue twisters have been proven to clarify the pronunciation of words, strengthen the muscles which you use to speak, help you with words and sounds that you may have trouble pronouncing. Tongue twisters are used a lot in teaching non-native English speakers the English language, because you're learning these different forms of pronunciation and how letters are used. And they kind of warm up your speaking ability, like you were talking with the vocal warm-ups before you go on stage. Or we should start doing...
We really should do
start doing some tongue twisters before we do this recording. Going back to the MIT, the trickiest tongue twister, to me, I feel like so many of them have like sentence structure, or like they kind of tell a little story. And this one, I don't know, it just feels like words. But pad kid poured curd pulled cod.
Yeah, that's not.
It doesn't. It's just like a words.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it
doesn't really count.
It's the trickiest one, and I'm just like,
what is it?
Pad kid poured curd pulled cod.
Pad kid poured curd
pulled curd.
Curd pulled cod.
Yeah,
that's not.
Yeah,
I need to read it so I can attempt to say it faster, but I didn't even. Pad kid poured curd pulled cod. Yeah, how is it the trickiest?
2013, so 11 years ago.
Pad kid poured curd pulled cod.
Yeah,
I'm not tripping over my words.
I read it several times while I was doing that, and I was like, why is this the trickiest one?
Maybe, like, if you have the intelligence level of a MIT student, you can't say words good.
Wow.
No, I don't know.
We just lost all of our listeners who might be MIT level. Wow. Okay. Well done.
I don't know how that one's
I don't know. So it's
some of the other ones.
Yeah, I don't really understand it, why that one became the trickiest, but it was said the most one because it had the way the letters, and I don't know. That seems an easy one to me.
Yeah.
And I struggle with just saying words normally, so, There is a lot of information on the
linguini.
Oh, now I want pasta.
Yes.
The linguistics of tongue twisters. So it talks about the different sounds that we make, different letters and consonants, and pronunciation difficulty. So the phoneme... My ice just popped in my drink, but it made a weird sound. I was like, who was next to me?
Like, what are you looking at? There's nothing there. The M&Ms?
No, it just was like, but it was like, what is going on over here?
It's the trapper's ghost.
It's the trapper's ghost. Followed. No, go back to the cafe.
We'll see you tonight.
I know, we'll be there. Jeez. Okay, so phonemes. Phonemes. Okay, based on the MIT confusion matrix of 1,620 single phoneme errors, the phoneme with the greatest margin of speech error is L, mistaken for R.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so that's probably why the pad kid pulled curd cord. I don't know. I'm not looking at it. I don't remember it. I've lost it. Anyway, the pad kid one with the pulled curd. Pad kid poured curd pulled cold. So all the R's and L's in there.
Yeah.
Since those are the two that are most commonly messed up, they figure with all those that makes it to Twicky.
Say Twiki. There's that red leather, yellow leather that is like the sort of the same thing.
Yeah, but like that one's more confusing to me than
Yeah.
Pad kid poured curd pulled cold.
Pulled cold.
Maybe it is tricky.
Well, if I had it in front of my face,
I know. Yeah.
I would remember the words.
So most of the mix-ups are attributed, like I said earlier, about you make the sounds in the same area of your mouth,
Yeah.
which
La and
kind
ra.
of gets
Yeah.
it kind of gets you a little confused there, especially if you try to say it fast. And that's typically the game of it, like
You say it as fast as you can.
yeah. How fast can you say this? How fast can you say this? And sometimes there's just like one or two words that you put together, like Shelby City or the pheasant plucker, where you just say it as fast as you can. How many times can you say this quickly? But we touched on other languages. So we have ASL, has the finger fumblers, which I love that.
So cool.
Spanish also has tongue twisters. They're called trabalenguas or tongue jammers. And in German, Zungenbrecher. I'm probably destroyed that. Tongue breakers. I like this one in Buganda. The vowels differ by length, so the tongue twisters kind of play with the vowel length. And I'm just going to read this as it looks to me, and I'm definitely not the correct pronunciation of this properly. Akawala, akawa, kawa, kawa, akawa, kawa.
That's cool.
I know. The girl who gave Kawa bitter coffee, where is she from? It's the translation of that, which I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then there's shibboleths, which is a phrase in a language that are difficult for someone who is not a native speaker of that language to say. So,
What language was that word in that you just said?
I don't know.
Say
I
the
will
word
find
again?
Shibboleth. Shibboleths.
Oh.
So, and that is a phrase in a language, phrases in a language that are difficult for someone who is not a native speaker of that language to say. And then they give some examples in Georgian, Czech, and Slavic. And I'm definitely not even going to try to pronounce these. But I want to put them in our show notes just as examples.
Okay.
There's one in the Czech and Slavic language. It translates into stick a finger through the throat, but the words have no vowels.
Oh, man.
Because the way they say their syllabic R, it's a common sound that creates a vowel.
Yeah.
Which I think is absolutely fascinating. Another tongue twister, and this is what I had to listen to earlier with the headphones, is the one syllable article. It's a form of a Mandarin Chinese tongue twister written in classical Chinese. So Mandarin Chinese has only 4 tonal ranges. So you can say the same word over and over and over. As long as you change the tone of it, it changes the meaning of the word.
I know some of these.
Which one do you know?
Tongue and tongue. One of them means ice, and one of them I forget. And I don't know which is which. There's also, no, isn't the word for cat, the word for cat is mao, but I don't know the inflection that you're supposed to do. And then there's another word that uses a different inflection. But I don't know. Anyway.
I don't know. My sister
I just remember
speaks Mandarin Chinese incredibly fluently, so she could probably tell us all of this. But this one is, there's a famous poem called The Lion-Eating Poet in the Stone Den, and it's about 94 characters in Mandarin Chinese where every word is pronounced Ji. And that's I sent you that picture of the Chinese characters earlier.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the poem. I'm going to link the YouTube video of this being read because it's
I want to hear it.
Ji, 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 ji. But I'm just butchering it because I don't have all the different tonals. I actually have the poem here written in Mandarin Chinese and then in the character form and then the written form and then the actual translation of it.
Oh, cool.
So I don't want to read it. It's kind of long, but the YouTube video I'll post is just like it's a minute. It's not really long, but it's just literally zhu, 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 with all these different tonations on it. So it kind of has this rhythmic flow to it of a poem.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay. And so I'm like looking at the translation as it's going and hearing the story. But it's a tongue twister poem,
That's cool.
which is very cool. So yeah, fun stuff in different languages. So you said you wanted me to just read tongue twisters?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Hang on. Let me go find that. Oh, I wanted to talk about the German one. Rhubarb Barbara. There's a classic German tongue twister, and I'm just going to translate to Rhubarb Barbara because I cannot Barbara. But it got really popular earlier this year. There was a viral rap by a German comic singer-songwriter, Bodo Wartke, and
I knew that sounded familiar.
music producer Marty Fisher. The first posted in December of 23, and then they followed up with the part 2 in May of 2024. And I listened to it. That's what also I was listening to. And I'm just like, this is amazing. Rhubarb I can't even get the English version of it. Rhubarb Barbara, barbarians, beard barber, beer bar barble. That's one of the sentences in there. But it's this story of Barbara, who made rhubarb pies and opened a rhubarb pie bar that these 3 barbarians came to. But they ate so much rhubarb pie, they became very like non-barbaric and very chill, but they had these big barbarian beards. So the barber next door trimmed their beards. But then in part 2, Barbara's little rhubarb bar is so popular, she's tired of working and she hires Barbell. And Barbell and Barbara fall in love and they find a little baby in the bushes by the beer bar and they name her Emily.
Emily?
It was a twist. It was a very twist in the end. But I'm going to post the show notes for this are going to have a lot of YouTube links.
Yeah.
I listened to this and I just was like, this is absolutely fabulous. Because these two Germans, and they're just doing it all in German. And every once in a while there's a English word that drops in there, like barber, or I think there was like one other one, beard or something. So it's like the beard. It's like, but it is fascinating, and I'm always fascinated. We've talked a lot about like different languages and how the sentence structure is different, and like it's so foreign to us unless we've learned it, and even then we still struggle to like we have to translate
to make words.
I struggle to make words in the language I was born speaking. So yeah, let me find my list of tongue twisters. Okay, my list of tongue twisters. I have 62 easy English tongue twisters for beginners.
Oh.
And then I have some harder ones.
Let's try them all.
Okay. A big black bug bit a big black bear.
A big black bug bit a big black bear.
A flea and a fly flew up in a flue.
A flea and a fly flew up in a flue.
A happy hippo hopped and hiccuped.
A happy hippo hopped and hiccuped.
A noisy noise, a noise, an oyster.
A noisy noise, a noise, an oyster.
A proper copper coffee pot.
A proper coffee pot.
A shapeless sash sags slowly. I struggle with the S ones.
A shapeless sash
sagged slowly.
A shapeless sash. I also struggle. Nope. Moving on.
A synonym for synonym is a synonym synonym.
A synonym for synonym is a synonym synonym. Synonym.
An ape hates grape cakes.
An ape hates grape cakes.
Grape cakes?
Grape cakes.
Billy Bob blabber boldly.
Billy Bob blabber boldly.
Black bug's blood.
Black bug's blood. Wow.
Blue goo.
Blue goo.
Blue glue gun, green glue gun.
Blue glue gun. Blue glue gun, green glue gun.
Can you can a can as a canner can a can?
Can you can a can as a canner can a can?
Can.
I'm better with the cuz.
Yeah. Cooks cook cupcakes quickly.
Cooks cook cupcakes quickly.
Double bubble gum bubbles double.
Double bubble gum bubbles double.
Eddie edited it.
Eddie edited it.
11 benevolent elephants.
11 benevolent elephants.
11 elves licked 11 little licorice lollipops.
Aw, 11 elves licked 11 little licorice lollipops.
Coincidentally, Elizabeth has 11 elves in her elm tree.
Coincidentally was part of the thing?
No, I just said, I just added that part.
I was like, what?
Sorry, these are listed alphabetically, and it was so you had the 11 elves licking 11 little licorice lollipops, and then Elizabeth has 11 elves in her elm tree.
Oh, okay. So the elves in the elm tree are licking lollipops.
Yeah, 11 lollipops.
Yeah.
11 licorice lollipops.
Yep.
Ugh. Licorice.
Have the lollipops already been licked? Are they pre-licked lollipops?
They were licked by the owl.
Because how many licks does it take to get to the center of it?
3.
Well, no, 3 before you bite it.
We're old.
A 1, a
2,
2,
3.
a 3. Crunch.
3. 4 furious friends fought for the phone.
4 furious friends fought for the phone.
Fred fed Ted bread and Ted fed Fred bread.
Fred fed Ted bread and Ted fed Fred bread?
Yep.
Frivolous?
Frivolously fanciful Fanny fried fresh fish furiously.
I have heard that one too.
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy wuzzy. Give Papa a cup of proper coffee in a copper coffee cup.
Copper coffee?
Give Papa a cup of proper coffee in a copper coffee cup. Don't do that, because the acid will react with the copper, and I don't think it will taste good at all. It might actually become deadly.
What?
The acids in the coffee and copper.
Okay.
Did you remember? Well, you may not have known, but do you know, like when there's that drink, like the Copper Mule, that's made in the copper cups that became really popular a couple years ago? It's an alcoholic drink, so you probably don't drink about it. I don't drink either, but I remember, I want to say it's a Copper Mule or something like that, but I think
it's just a mule.
Maybe it's just a mule. I don't know. I don't drink, but it's in a copper cup. But they started selling all these copper cups, and people started getting sick because alcohol reacted with the copper. So now they're all like stainless steel lined.
Dang. All right.
Yeah. Cool story.
Yeah.
Anyway. Good blood, bad blood.
Good blood, bad blood.
Greek grapes.
Greek grapes.
Green glass globes glow greenly.
Green glass globes glow greenly. Greenly.
He threw 3 balls through the tall trees.
He threw 3 balls through the tall trees. Okay.
How can a clam cram in a clean cream can?
Skipping that one.
How many cans can a canner can if a canner can cans? A canner can as many cans as a canner can if a canner can cans.
Okay.
How many yaks could a yak pack if a yak pack could pack yaks?
Oh, yaks.
Yaks.
I didn't hear the yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How many yaks?
I saw a kitten eating chicken in the kitchen.
I saw a kitten eating chicken in the kitchen.
I saw cake eating chicken in the kitchen earlier. I saw City sitting. That one was going to go bad really quick. I saw Susie sitting in a shoe shine shop.
I saw Susie sitting in a shoe shine shop.
This one I also have a bit of history for. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream.
Yeah.
There's kind of confusion. Well, there's no real, like, this is when it came about. Again, people in the past write stuff down. But when ice cream was invented, this was used in advertising for not only ice cream, but also for freezers.
Oh.
I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Do you have a freezer? Do you have a freezer? Like, so it was like when freezers were first coming into the market. So it was just used as a slogan, a sales slogan.
Fun little catchphrase or whatever.
And it had become the bane of ice cream sellers everywhere. I guess. I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. I thought, but the thought I thought wasn't the thought I thought I thought.
That happens to me all the time.
All the time, literally. That is me. I wish to wish the wish you wish to wish, but if you wish the wish the witch wishes, I won't wish the wish you wish to wish.
All right. Nothing to say about that one.
If practice makes perfect and perfect needs practice, I'm perfectly practiced and practically perfect.
Practically perfect in every way.
If two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which watch? You've left me alone reading my tongue twisters, Jess.
Yeah.
Wow. If you notice this notice, you will notice that this notice is not worth noticing.
Cool.
Kitty caught the kitten in the kitchen. 1-1 was the racehorse. 2-2 was 1-2. 1-1 won the race. 2-2 won 1-2.
Are you saying one or one?
One.
One.
Juan. 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 One. One. That triggered another. That triggered another memory from the auctions that I used to go to. We had our friends from England came over, and we went to get some burgers and stuff at the little food truck.
Can we get burgers today?
Oh yeah, we can make some burgers.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're just get some from Trappers. We got to go.
We got to get our check. Yeah.
Yeah.
But my friend went up and a cheeseburger and a cheeseburger and a water, please. And the girl looked at him and said, "A what?" And he said, "A water." And she said, "A what?" Water.
Water.
Water. He had to say water.
A water.
A water. And she said, "Oh, water." And he's like, yeah. The South is awesome. You don't have to leave this in if you don't want to. But anyway.
A water.
Scissors, sizzle, thistles, thistles, thistle. No, I said it wrong. I'm laughing so hard, like my eyes are tearing. I can't see my screen. Scissors, sizzle, thistles, sizzle.
Scissors, sizzle, thistle, sizzle?
Mm-hmm. You want to say thistles, thistle, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. She sees cheese.
I like that one. She sees cheese.
I love cheese.
Yeah.
She stood on the balcony, inexplicably mimicking him hiccuping and amicably welcoming him in. Ugh.
Wow.
That one.
I'm not going to try that one.
I don't like that one.
So, okay, but it painted a picture, though. She's standing on a balcony welcoming who in? A vampire? Because he's flying.
Well, inexplicably
Hiccuping.
mimicking him hiccuping and amicably welcoming him in.
So,
The vampire was hiccuping.
hiccuping
And she's like,
vampire standing
"Hiccup,
on a
hiccup,
balcony.
hiccup. Come on in.
Come on in. Inexplicably, I'm going to let you in. Can we get... I want that to be a short story prompt.
Okay.
Or a writing
okay.
prompt that we use.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Oh, my goodness.
To begin to toboggan, first buy a toboggan, but don't buy too big a toboggan. Too big a toboggan is too big a toboggan to buy to begin to toboggan. And I suddenly realized, like, some people may be confused about toboggan.
I feel like that's a word that people know.
But in some areas, like, a toboggan is a sled, and in some areas, a toboggan is a hat.
Who?
Toboggan can be a hat.
No.
Yeah.
A toque is a hat.
I know a toque is a hat, but so is a toboggan.
In what? Who calls hat? Who? In what region are you talking about?
In the South.
Okay. I try to be nice, but people in the South get it together. A toboggan is not a hat.
Everyone here in the South knows what a toboggan is. It's a knit cap, of course.
No, I think people in the South are like, what do those Canadians call them knit hats? What do they call them? Toboggans, right?
And we just lost our Southern fan base.
Oh,
No,
man.
a toboggan is a hat.
A toque is a hat.
I know a toque is a hat in Canada. It's
Yes.
also a fool.
Full of a toque.
In the South, a toboggan is a hat.
Okay.
Like a beanie. Not like a ball cap, but like a toque.
Okay.
Yeah. So there you go. So just to save the confusion on. Okay, I think I'm done with tongue twisters, but I had a lot of fun, and I hope you have something worth keeping in this, because there's a lot of chaos in this. This may have been our most chaotic episode yet.
Possibly. I don't know. It's kind of our shortest episode. We've been recording for an hour and 43 minutes. I'm not going to have a whole lot of, I guess I will have a lot of editing to do, because I don't know.
I have some pop culture
insult the
mentions
South? Should I
of, should you? I mean, I'm from the South, and I give you permission.
I know. I will disclosure. I have nothing against people in the South.
I
or
don't
how they
either.
talk.
It's fun. They're good people. I'll do a little pop culture, tongue twisters in pop culture.
Yeah.
Just got some quick bullet points. In 1951, Danny Kaye recorded a Sylvia Fine song titled Tongue Twisters. The children's book by Dr. Seuss are tongue twisters. Fox's Socks is the most extreme case of that. And Oh Say Can You Say. In the 1952 film Singing in the Rain, movie star Don Lockwood uses tongue twisters such as Peter Piper while learning proper diction so he can make the transition from silent film to talkies in 1920s Hollywood.
That song popped in my head when you were talking earlier.
Moses supposes his toes are roses.
Moses supposes erroneously.
So yeah, that became a song and dance number in the movie. So that's cool.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I do too. We should watch it again. I haven't watched it in a while. In 1968, Jack Webb guested on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson and took part in a parody of Dragnet. The premise was Jack Webb as Sergeant Joe Friday grilling Carson about kleptomaniac Claude Cooper from Cleveland who copped clean copper clappers kept in a closet. So it was a hit, and it was regularly shown on anniversary specials. In the episode You Said a Mouthful from Pinky and the Brain, both Pinky and Brain go through a collage of tongue twisters that cover almost every category possible, which I want to go watch that too.
That's awesome.
The TV series BoJack Horseman contains increasingly convoluted tongue twisters as the show progresses, often delivered by Princess Carolyn. A notable set involves the actress Courtney Portney. For example, how would you enjoy joining Portney for a Scorched Soy Porterhouse Pork Four-Courser at Koi? Followed by, glorify your source, but don't make it feel forced, of course, and try the borscht. So I've never watched BoJack Horseman. So
Me either.
I don't know. And also, hip-hop music and rap are very common for using tongue twisters.
Yeah.
In 1986, Run DMC did Peter Piper.
Oh.
So I will listen to that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of pop culture.
We should come up with a tongue twister to title this episode.
I'm just going to stare at you now. My brain just went blink, blink, blink.
Something about Dolly Shepherd.
The pleasing parachutist. Something, something, something. I'll think about it.
Yeah.
I'll think about it. We'll have to think about it and see what we come up with. But I do like that. Yeah.
Dolly dares to dive. No.
Dolly dares to drop from the sky. I don't know. I don't know. We're just going into utter calf now. That's it. Tongue twisters. I got nothing. I got nothing else. I am just.
I
done.
love that. I love it.
Yeah. I think tongue twisters are fun, and they bring back a lot of childhood memories of, just say this 10 times fast, trying to get your friends to mess up so you can laugh at them. And, or with them or whatever. But yeah, it's fun. So yeah. And
I'm trying to think of all the ones we used for the vocal warm-ups, and I got the rubber baby buggy bumpers, Mama Mash Me M&Ms, She Sells Seashells by the Seashore, red leather, yellow leather.
How now, brown cow?
How now, brown cow. Toy boat. Toy boat, toy boat. Toy boat, toy boat. Yeah, it's hard to say.
Oh yeah,
multiple times.
I had a list of just like words like 2 words.
Yeah,
that you could go on.
It's easy to say once, but say it multiple times, and it's like
it starts to just run together and be stuck, kind of.
Yeah,
I like the one I actually saw the toy boat, and it was one of those things that you start saying it one way and it comes like toy boat, boat, toy boat, toy boat. Your brain flips it if
toy
you
boat,
say it.
Toy boat, toy. I just always want to say toya boat.
Toya boat.
Toya boat. Toya boat. Toy. Because it's that thing that you were talking about, how your tongue wants to move a certain way
and your
to
brain
make it
wants
easier to say.
Your brain's
toy
confused.
Boat.
And your
Toya
brain's
boat.
put words in there to make it less confusing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we should draw cards.
Yeah, we should draw cards.
I have nothing more on tongue twisters, except there will be a lot of links, videos to watch in the show notes, because the Mandarin Chinese poem and the ASL
and
video.
It's possible that we're going to just start reciting tongue twisters during tea time.
I know I would.
Tea time twisters. Tea time tongue twisters.
Tea time tongue twist. Yep, there we go. I actually do want to like start incorporating that in as warm ups
Yeah.
because I do
We should
struggle
do like
a
vocal,
lot.
like mouth warm ups, not even just
Yeah.
vocal warm ups. Hey, do we have a deck of cards out?
Well, we do because we're getting distracted, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay, cards. I think I picked last time, didn't I? I think I did.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Does it matter?
No.
Okay.
I
Do you
can
want me
go
to?
first
Do you want me to
this time,
hold
though.
them
It's
for
fine.
you? Okay.
I'm
Take
gonna
that one. No, I'll just.
Okay. I don't recognize this one, but
Oh,
it's gonna-
okay.
Okay. It's going to be interesting. I'm excited.
If you'd like us, if you have something you'd like us to talk about, you can send us an email at jessandhids@gmail.com. JESSANDHIDS@gmail.com.
Do it if you have like a interesting topic or something you think is like a weird bit of history that would be fun for us to cover.
Or if you know like more crazy, awesome women like Dolly Shepherd,
Yeah.
we'd love to learn a little more about them. All right, you hold the cards for me,
Okay.
and I will pick one. Oh, there's so many. Oh, they're big. Okay, all right. I'll take this one.
Okay. Wait.
Okay, sorry. Okay, I'm going to take this one. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Cool. This is going to be fun. What do we want to put on the cards for this one?
I don't know.
Well, Dolly's going to get a
Dolly's gonna be a
balloon.
parachute.
Balloon, yeah.
And
Tongue twisters.
Twisters. I don't know. Draw a tongue.
Oh, no. I'm not going to do that.
I mean, you could just... You could draw a little jar of pickled peppers.
Oh, I will do that. Okay. I'll work on this. So that'll be fun.
Sweet. So before we wrap up, do we want to talk more about what's happening over on Patreon?
Yeah, I mean, we could talk. We don't really talk about our Facebook group, which is kind of open to everybody.
Oh yeah, our Facebook group is free to join. You should totally look us up.
It's called the Reveniverse and Beyond on Facebook, and we just kind of hang out in there a little bit, talk
Yeah.
about random things.
We have a book club in there and a movie club in there.
Next week we're watching the movie Them,
Yay!
so we're really
From,
super excited about that.
1959?
1959. So yeah, we do a poll and vote on what movie we want to watch. We do suggestions and then we do poll.
Right now in our book club, we are reading a sort of horror/folklore anthology, Christmas themed. It's called Christmas and Other Horrors.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, there's some good stories in there. And the discussion post is actually going to go up within the next couple days. So if you want to like dive in and join us, do it, because it's a lot of fun in there. It's a lot of fun in that group.
Yeah. We have a lot of fun.
You can find the link to the Facebook group if you don't want to look for it on Facebook, but you could go to our website. It's there.
All the links to everything are on our website, jessandhids.com.
You should definitely go there.
Definitely go there, check us out. If
Yeah.
you do have ideas, do email us, jessandhids@gmail.com, because we have a list, but we would like to add to it
Yeah.
and get different things that, I mean, we have a wide range of interests and things that kind of go,
We
oh,
do.
let's put that on the list.
We
Let's
have-
put that on the list. But
We also have recurring cards. I don't think we've talked about this before, but we
don't think
have
we have.
recurring cards that we have like a cryptid card, and we haven't
drawn that
any
one.
yet.
I
Yeah.
know. And we have manhandled history.
manhandled history and a travel card, just like where we
We
would
want to go
choose
to
a place.
there.
So like every time one of us draws that card, it's just up to us to pick whatever we want to talk about. Pick a cryptid to talk about it. What other recurring cards?
I think
We were talking about like a folklore one or
Yeah.
mythology.
Yeah, mythology card
Yeah.
and a folklore card.
We haven't
'cause-
added those to the deck yet because we were just like, hey, we should do that.
We
and
should
then
do
never
that.
did. We have a lot of topics, but we could always use more.
Yeah, definitely. If you have an idea for something, please drop it to us in an email, because we would love to get some different input
Yeah.
and see, kind of what are the things like we like to learn. Like we want to learn about this, so
Yeah.
it'll be fun.
And it's fun just like getting a random topic and just diving in, researching it and finding out all these cool things. So, yep.
I have loved it. I really enjoyed last week's episode with Lake Issyk-Kul, like learning about the lake, which I didn't cover a whole lot, but it didn't know it existed before. And, but then Dyatlov Pass, that's just a fun topic. I want to do it again because since last week I've actually been like, oh, I've learned a few more things, but
sweet.
Yeah, we won't get into that. Anyway,
head over to Patreon. You can follow us for free there. Some of our posts are available for free members.
But all the fun stuff comes. We do have fun stuff with oh, that was mean. We do a lot of fun stuff, just public posts. We have a recurring story so far post that is kind of following along with the D&D campaign that we're playing.
Yeah.
So there's kind of some storytelling aspect there. And we do some other little fun public posts. A lot of our paid patrons, we have mailings and sneak peeks and our after pie sessions. And we're going to be having blooper reels.
Definitely some blooper reels probably starting in January. I'm hoping to do at least one blooper reel a month. I think that's probably good.
There's going to be so
Once
many blooper reels.
Also starting in January, we're going to have writing prompts. We've talked about
I'm
those
excited
before.
for that.
Little writing challenges every month. And we would also love to put together a sort of bookish retreat. We're sort of gathering information about that. We would just love to make it happen.
Yeah, we're looking at that for possibly the end of May 2025.
Yeah.
It might. Our plans currently are for a little long weekend in Williams, Arizona, which is
a fun little historic town.
Very historic town. It has the oldest hotel in Arizona, which we have stayed at, and is probably most definitely haunted.
Yes, for
Though
sure.
they will tell you it's not.
Yeah,
but it is.
It's totally haunted.
So yeah, we've got some fun stuff. Pop over there to patreon.com/jessandhids. And you can, as always, find links to everything on our website, jessandhids.com.
Yep. Join our Facebook group.
And eventually we're going to come up with a sign-off. But for now, we're just going to say thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Tell your friends about us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.